I'm going to read the sixth story in Dorothy Edwards' My Naughty Little Sister, a treasury collection. And I've been calling them chapters, but that's not really what they're called. They're each a short story, and you don't have to listen to them in order because each one has a beginning, middle, and end, and you can listen to them in any order you want. Let's begin. My Naughty Little Sister and Bad Harry. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when I was a little girl, I had a sister who was littler than me. Now, although my sister was sometimes very naughty, she had a lot of friends. Some of her friends were grown-up people, but some were quite young. Her favorite child friend was a little boy called Harry. He often made my sister cross, so she called him Bad Harry. Bad Harry lived quite near to us. There were no roads to cross to get to his house, and he and my sister often went round to visit each other without any grown-up person having to take them. One day, when my naughty little sister went round to Bad Harry's house, it was his mother's washing day. Bad Harry was very pleased to see her. He didn't like it when his mother was doing washing. "Have you come to play?" he asked. Now, Harry's mother didn't like naughty children running around in her house while she was doing the washing. So she said, "You'll have to play in the garden then. You know what you two are like when there's water about." Harry said he didn't mind that. There was a lovely game they could play in the garden. They could play islands. There was a big heap of sand at the bottom of the garden that Harry's father was going to make a path with one day. Harry said, "We'll pretend that sand is an island in the river, like the one we go to on the ferry boat sometimes." My sister said, "Yes, we will go and live on it. We will say that all the garden is the river." So off they went. They had a good game pretending to live on the island. They filled Harry's toy truck with sand and ran it up and down the heap and tipped the sand over the island's side until it became quite flat. Then they dug holes in the sand and stuck sticks in them and said they were planting trees. Later on, Harry went to find some more sticks, and while he was gone, my sister made sand pies for their pretending dinner. My little sister made them in a flower pot and tipped them out very carefully. They did look nice. "Dinner time, Harry," she said. But instead of pretending to eat a sand pie, that bad Harry knocked all the pies over with a stick. He said, "Now you will have to make some more." He thought that was a funny thing to do, but my sister didn't think so. My naughty little sister was very, very cross with Bad Harry when he knocked over her pies. She screamed and shouted and said, "Get off my island, bad Harry!" And she pushed him, and he fell onto the garden. When Harry fell, my sister stopped being cross. She laughed instead. "Now you're all wet in the river," she said. But Bad Harry didn't laugh. He was very angry. I'm not wet, he shouted, and he began to jump up and down. You pushed me, Harry said. "You broke my pies," shouted my sister. "Bad old Harry." And she jumped up and down too. Bad Harry was just going to shout again when he saw something, and he had an idea. He saw his mother's washing basket. Harry's mother had filled the washing line with sheets, and she'd left the other wet things in a basket on the path so that she could hang them up when the sheets were dry. "I've got a boat," Harry said. He went up to the basket with the wet things in it. "Look," he said, "it's a boat," and he began to push it along the path. My sister forgot about being cross with Harry because she liked his idea so much. She went to help him push. "We've got a boat," she said. They pushed their boat round and round the island, and they were just talking about giving each other rides in it on top of the wet washing. and my sister was just shouting again because she wanted to be first when Harry's mother came out. "You are naughty children," Harry's mother said. "If I hadn't caught you in time, you would have got all my washing dirty. What will you do next?" "We were playing islands," Aunt Harry said. "Well, you are not going to play islands any more," said Harry's mother. "You will come indoors with me while I can keep an eye on you. Now," she said, "you can each sit on a chair while I wash the kitchen floor." She lifted Bad Harry onto one chair and my naughty little sister onto another chair. And she said, "Don't you dare get off." And they didn't dare get off. Harry's mother looked too cross. They didn't even talk. They were so busy watching her washing the floor. First she used the mop on one corner, then she picked up the chair with Bad Harry on it and put it on the wet place. "There," she said. Then she washed the floor in another corner. She picked up the chair with my naughty little sister on it and put it on that wet place. "There," she said. "Now don't get down till the floor's dry." She said, "Curl your feet up and keep them out of the wet." And Bad Harry curled his feet, and my little sister curled her feet. And Bad Harry's mother laughed and said, "All right, here I go." And she mopped all the floor that was left. She did it very, very quickly. My little sister quite enjoyed watching Harry's mother mop the floor. She liked to see the mop going round and all the soap bubbles going round and round too. She liked to see it going backwards and forwards, wiping up the bubbles. Every time the bubbles were wiped up, she shouted, "Gone away!" Our mother didn't clean her floor like that, so it was very interesting. Bad Harry didn't shout, though. He went very still and very quiet. He was thinking. When Harry's mother was finished, she said, "Well, you have been good children. I'll just put some newspaper over the floor and you can get down." So she put newspaper all over the floor, and my little sister got down off her chair. "Let's go and find a chocolate biscuit," Harry's kind mother said. My little sister smiled because she liked chocolate biscuits, but Bad Harry didn't smile. He didn't get down from his chair. He was still thinking. He was pretending. All the time he had been on the chair, he had been playing islands. He had been pretending that the chair was an island and the wet floor was a river. "Come on, Harry," my naughty little sister said. "Come and get your biscuit." "I can't. I'll fall in the river," said Harry. "I can't swim yet." My little sister knew at once that Harry had been playing. She looked at the wet floor with the paper all over it. Then she pulled the paper across the floor and laid it in a line from Harry's chair to the door. "Come over the bridge," she said, and that's what he did. And after that they made up all sorts of games with newspapers on the floor. Well, they were a little bit naughty, shouting and almost getting the laundry dirty. However, they did use their imaginations, and that was very, very clever and made what might have been a boring afternoon pretty interesting. Well, I can't wait to read another Bad Harry story next time. Be sure to subscribe and click thumbs up. Eek.